Hi there, I'm Paulo Andros. Welcome to the SEO Game Show, where we test the knowledge and speed of our guests to answer SEO questions faster than an SEO can say it depends.
Howdy, I'm Gus, the co-host, and this is how our game works. Each guest has to answer 5 questions using Kahoot. They have 30 seconds to answer each one, and the faster they answer, the more points they make. They can get up to 1,000 points per question.
Thank you, Gus. Let's meet our today's guest. Welcome, Marco. Excited to
guys.
have you here with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
So without further ado, I'll start sharing my screen and then we can start the game.
All right. While we go through this, I have to remind everyone that Revelflow AI is kindly sponsoring our show, and they will be making the donation for the charity of choice. So whoever wins this season will have $250 to donate, and Revelflow is an AI optimization tool that is sponsoring our show and making this donation. If you haven't tried them yet, it's a pretty cool tool. I've played a little bit to do some on-page optimization, and it will compare how your page and a good ranking page is ranking, or what kind of information they have on a page, and will give you suggestions of areas to improve. So they will give you a bit of a blurb, an AI blurb, so you can edit and make it better. But it's a different way than what we're used to kind of match keywords or put a new header. It's a bit more holistic, and I found some interesting ways to optimize pages there. So give it a try if you think it might be interesting. They are offering 14 days free to anyone who signs up to the tool. And Marco will be getting 3 months as a bonus for being a guest on the show.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I've been trying with some of my projects and I'm amazed by Revelflow, so definitely give it a shot. Now, let's learn a little bit more about Marco. Marco, introduce yourself, please, and maybe the charity of your choice.
So, hi guys, it's Marco. Actually, there is one thing to correct. Now I'm only doing data, even at where I work. Marketing data, for example, Salesforce app. I scoped, a little bit differently now. I talk about other data sources, but of course, my first love, you can say my first specialty is and was SEO. I work on analytics for SEO course that Gus attended. And I just wanted to say it's not just about coding or the technical skills, because I think that those are quite inflated. I mean, you still need them, but they are easy to match. Whereas the business skills are a little bit harder, the process, the mindset, and so on. So this is what it's all about. I also produced a freebie. If you subscribe to my newsletter, which is the BigQuery handbook, a small BigQuery handbook, and in my course, I have an expanded version which is called the Bible, because, well, it's bigger, and it just gets you started with the SQL you need to know or what you need to know to use BigQuery. And I will also speak at Brighton, once again, about BigQuery, but this is just a coincidence, just because I know it's cool now, it's trendy. The difference is that it will be more about some things you can do, it's just 20 minutes. So, of course, I trimmed a lot of stuff, but I think it will be a nice talk. For the charities, I didn't think about them, to be honest, but I would say anything about cancer would be a great choice.
Amazing.
Happy days. I'll be there sitting, watching you in the first row in Brighton in October.
Yeah, unfortunately I can make it, but I'll definitely watch the video as soon as it's out. So good luck. And
Thank you.
I think everyone that knows me for more than 10 seconds know that I'm a big BigQuery fan. So I'll definitely be doing your course and everything else.
Yeah, because you had a previous talk about BigQuery in Brighton, a previous talk in Brighton some years ago too. I don't recall. Was it 2 years ago? Yes.
Yeah, I had one last year and one
last
this
year.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, BigQuery is a big passion of mine recently, so I'll be definitely on the lookout. But okay, enough with the warm up. Now it's time to play the game. Are you ready?
No, wait a second. I'm looking at my tab.
Okay. Let's go for the first question.
When did Google release bulk data export for GC on BigQuery? Okay.
You have to click the answer.
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought it was June 2023 actually.
Oh,
Oh,
February 2023. I started in May 2023. I didn't know at all. Of course, the others are just wrong. I recall GA4 though. GA4 was like 3 years ago or something like that.
already? Wow. Yeah, I remember when Google released the bulk data export, it just went through my head like I didn't even notice. And then after some people started using it and sharing some use cases of it, then I got more interested.
Yeah, me too. I told you May, June, I don't recall. Something like that.
I thought it would be an easy question, but apparently I made harder questions before that I realized later I wouldn't know the answer either.
Actually, I knew you were going to ask this, but
You knew?
I found May, and I was thinking May as well, because the first source, the YouTube and the stuff was May, or so, I don't recall, something like that.
All right. Paulo, are we ready for the next one?
Let's go for the next one. Good luck.
What percentage of keyword data, but this is not official. It depends. Unfortunately, there is no right answer, but for big websites, it's like 1 quadrillion %. I mean, it can also be that you have 200% more rows if you are Indeed or these websites, It can be quite a lot more rows, actually.
Yeah. What is the percentage that you see? Like what is the normal range that you are used to see?
But okay, it depends. This percentage, not anonymized. You mean percentage keyword? It really depends. Sometimes I saw 30%. If it's small, even 10%, something like this. But for bigger websites, higher than 80%. It's very common, to be honest. And also, I wanted to add one thing. It's very common that when you use the API for big websites, or big properties, I should say, I don't know, let's say that the API gives you, let's say, 2 million records. BigQuery sometimes can give you 5 million, 6 million, and you're like, what? And it's absolutely normal.
Yeah. But I think there was that impression at first, or at least I had that impression that with BigQuery we would see 100% of the queries, and later realized it is much better than what we had before, but it's still not 100%.
Yeah. It's still disappointing because Google, come on, show us the queries. Well, what can it be? It's not GA4 where you can actually track things. In GSC, yeah, you can filter by country and device, but it's, I'm not very convinced.
All right, are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a close to 1,000 points there, I would say. Oh, very good.
Let's go to the next one.
What field are used for the percentage of queries that are not revealed?
Fast.
That's got to be what, 980 in there?
Yeah, that was really quick.
Just for the people looking, search type is just to see web, discover, news. You put it in every query you write just to avoid discover news if you have that kind of traffic. The first one is blatantly false. Actually, I would have done it differently. I would have put the S instead of the Z, so there may be some Brits get it wrong, something like this. But no, it's always the number 4, because the syntax they've been using, it's always is something, is underscore something.
Yeah. I just made up the other ones, or a couple of the other ones.
Yeah. Look up, game is paused. Okay, you have to continue.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to click here and now resume. Let's go to the next one.
Once you set up a file, can you go back to export your data?
Very good.
Unfortunately, it's not retroactive.
It would be nice.
Yeah, I wanted to find now, not 0 days. I expected now, or something like you can't. But yeah, unfortunately, it's only from the moment you do it. But the same is for GA4 and Google Ads, everything. So nothing changes. Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Yeah, but thinking about Google Search Console, if someone else had verified your account before or your domain before, and then you verify it, you still have access to the data. But for the BigQuery, even though you had access to the Google Search Console data before and now you start exploring, Google doesn't give you the data there.
Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's Google, so it's fine.
I'm already happy we have BigQuery this day, so let's not complain too much.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's the next one, the last one. Let me go back to my cheat sheet here.
It is.
Now, the next question is worth up to 2,000 points.
Why?
So, because it's the last one.
But it's not some bullshit like the data. It's
No, well, we'll see.
Okay.
You have to think your strategy. Answer quick or answer slow but more certain.
Okay. Let's.
But no, it's not a date. You don't take dates out of your mind.
Double points.
Is this SQL correct?
Oh, where's the image? Oh, it's there.
Select URL, query total clicks from select your row number web partition. Where row num. Dunque, URL query. Select URL query. Okay, so the table is already.
Oh.
I think yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Now, you know why the doubt? Because I know it's from my material, but I don't know. I will tell you why. There are two reasons. Number one, if you go back to the image. Can you go back to the image?
I can't. No, show media, yes. Can you see the image?
I will tell you why. Okay, just to explain you. This query is very simple in theory, but it's very easy to change something and make it harder. Because you have the main query outside, the outer one, which tells you I want, in the final table I want, the URL, the keyword, the query, and the total clicks, okay? And then you have the row num less than or equal to 5. And we will come back to this later. Inside the from, you write the table or where you want to take your data. In this case, we have the inner query, where we actually have the table name, which is the name, the project, the dataset, and the table name you write, whatever that is. And here we're using a window function, which is, I don't want to say advanced, intermediate for sure SQL, where you say, I want to get the top 5 queries per URL. This is what it does. And actually, there is a better way to write this query, because when I updated my course, I wrote a better way where you use qualify in theory. You don't use where. This is correct, but the most proper way would be qualify and write that you want to qualify like row num, whatever, in that way. But yeah, that's correct. I just was overthinking because of the grouping, because every time you have the select URL query, I spend some time looking for the group by in the inner query.
Yeah, at first I was just putting a screenshot straight from the material, but then I thought you're gonna notice the color in the back, and you're gonna say it's a screenshot from my material. Yeah. It's gonna be a yes. So I went through the trouble to put it on BigQuery just for a screenshot.
But yeah, technically, if you want to be super precise, yes, it's correct. There is a better version.
It works, but it could be optimized. I think that's the definition. So just to be clear, this query on BigQuery, this SQL, it's going to get you the top 5 queries per URL or the top 5 URLs per query?
No, the top 5 keywords per URL. And you can see this from the row number over partition. I know it's hard to explain like this because in my course I spend a lot of time on this. Also, when I studied it in college, it was very hard. You are just telling that you have to apply the row number function, which is a way to count the rows, like the top 5. It's very simple. Over means, wait, do you know window functions or this stuff, more or less? Some experience with it? Or...
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so as you know, you just define a window, which is a small table, a subset of rows actually, and you say, I want to partition it by URL, so I want to group it by, you can say group it, by URL and get the total clicks, descending. So from the highest, from the largest to the smallest. So if you run it, you just get the 5 keywords per every page, ordered by these total clicks. And that's
super
it. That's
useful.
what it does.
Yeah, super useful.
Very handy.
I see myself using this tomorrow.
Do you still save on BigQuery data by doing this way? Because does it need to collect all the data to filter the top 5?
What do you mean to save? I didn't get it.
You know, like I know there are a few ways to save on BigQuery costs. Like maybe you request everything and then just filter to show a little bit, but you spend gigabytes of data to pick everything.
Actually, there are 2 things you can do to improve even further this query, but it depends on your use case. Once again, it depends on the questions you have to answer, what they ask you. So there are very simple ways. So the first one would be to add a where clause in the inner table, you know. Yeah, in the inner one, this one, yeah. Where you can specify, for example, that you only want the date, so the date you like. Why? Not because the date is just a way to filter, but because Search Console data in BigQuery is partitioned, meaning that each you will have one table per day. So if today is the 12th of September, you have one BigQuery table just for today. For yesterday, you have another table. So if you specify this date you want, BigQuery will be like, sure. Then I don't need to know what happened on May 2023, for example. It will be excluded. So you save money and performance. And the other thing to do is to actually select a search type equal web or filter by other, by other dimensions you have or by metrics. But you can also take it further and do other optimizations. For example, clustering. But clustering does not operate on a query level. You do it before. Clustering is a technique where you can just, let's say, sort your table, depending to some columns you decide. For example, if you always use query and URL, with clustering for BigQuery, it's faster to perform queries using query and URL because the data is already sorted for you. This is another way. And the other optimizations are about the BigQuery pricing model. For example, if you have, I don't know, the standard one, pay as you go, or if you're using the flex load, it's a little bit complex. I usually read the documentation, also because it's not my money anyway. But in general, you can optimize a lot of stuff, but it's not us. I mean, usually this is the task of an engineer. We don't care. We just tell them, you have to do this, you have to do that, do it. And we just work on the business side or the use cases, what needs to be done, and all of this. So you don't really need to learn all the optimizations, all the possible optimizations, because in actual companies, for example, in Indeed, I guess, you have engineers and they tell you, guys, please don't do this, or please use this. They give you some instructions. So, of course, it's a little bit easy because you don't have to do it. But if you really have to do it, filter by date for Search Console, search type, and as much as possible. And if you're using GA4, even though it's not related to the quiz, in GA4 you have sharding, which is kind of outdated, I would say. Sharding is different because in sharding, you do have multiple tables, one per day in GA4, but it's not partitioning. It's a little bit different because to filter by table, you have to look at the suffix of the table. You have a suffix, and you have this table suffix that can be used to metadata, that can be used to filter your tables. So it's another different use case, but the concept is similar.
Got it. Super
Wow.
interesting.
I guess I gotta do the course again.
No, I updated it.
Oh, I saw new chapters in there. I'm coming back to them very soon.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how many points Marco did in total. It's gonna show you as number 1 here because it's only you playing, but we need to see how everyone else did on the other episodes.
The maximum is 6K, no? The maximum, yes. 6K.
Correct.
Yeah, because the first one was incorrect, then your maximum would be 5K.
Yeah.
But you did great, I think. Like you were really fast with the
5?
questions. Yeah. Not bad at all.
Happy days. All right, so we're gonna compute the numbers, find out who is the winner of the season. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to announce before double checking. And yeah, that's what we have for today. Marco, thank you so much for joining us, going through our questions and teaching us a little bit more about BigQuery. I will vouch again, your course is amazing. I've done things that I learned with you and shared with other people in the company and giving answers for things, and people were impressed with the business rationale that I could put behind on why things are working this way or that way. So, I have colleagues that are interested. I'm hoping they're gonna buy your course as well. And yeah, Paolo, Marco, if you have anything else to add, now it's the time.
Hey, it's super dark. I forgot to turn on the light. It's not my fault. It's all dark here.
No worries. I just wanted to invite Marco. We already, and sorry to put you on the spot like that, but we were thinking of having all the participants on the second season to play a game at the same time. So if you're interested, we would love to have you with the rest of the participants. And that's the end of second season. So the next season will be in Portuguese again. And
I understand it. Don't worry. It's easy.
It's easy. We can start speaking Portuguese now and you will follow along.
But I reply in Italian.
Okay.
Va bene.
Okay.
Va bene. Va bene is the easiest sentence ever.
Yeah.
No, but we would love to have you in the final season finale with everyone at the same time, so we can arrange that.
Sure. Why not?
And then only super difficult questions.
all date related. All right, guys, that was fun.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna drop you now. I need to do some parenting stuff, and yeah, my mother-in-law is visiting, so we're gonna have a chance to get out of the house for a little bit. So I'm gonna do my duties and get out of the house for a little bit.
Amazing.
All right.
No problem,
Enjoy.
guys. It was a pleasure. Ciao.
Thank you.